Good day to everyone. Lesson 5, Service Oriented Architecture in Computer Architecture and Organization. At the end of this module, you are expected to identify the basic concepts of service oriented architecture. Second, explain how SOA works. And third, discuss the advantages and challenges of SOA. Our lesson is Service-Oriented Architecture or SOA. Ano nga ba ang Service-Oriented Architecture? Is a software design approach where applications are built by combining independent, reusable services that communicate over a network using standardized protocols. Each service encapsulates a complete business function. Example niyan, payment processing, authentication, and can be reused across multiple applications without knowing its internal implementation. Furthermore, SOA promotes loose coupling, interoperability, and platform independence, enabling integration of services written in different languages or running on different systems. Services are typically described using service contracts and metadata for discoverability. SOA is a way of organizing software so that companies can respond quickly to the changing requirements of the marketplace. The technology is based on services, which are customized units of software that run in a network. We have an example here. How SOA works? Today, I will explain it in an easy way. I have example how Uber works by using the concept of service-oriented architecture or SOA. This will help us understand how Uber manages to provide quick and efficient services by breaking down each function into smaller parts. Suppose I am a developer. Imagine Uber as an example of SOA. Instead of creating one big, complicated app, Uber is built from many small, separate services. Each service is responsible for a specific task, and they all work together to make the whole system run smoothly. So, what are the things required to create one Uber app? If you see that I need is a login page. Also, I need some kind of map where all the drivers and all the customers who can see where the cars are, and along with I need a payment getaway. So if I'm trying to create an Uber app, what I can do is I can create three services. Here are some of the main services in Uber. The ride booking service finds and book your ride. The payment service take care of your payment. Yeah. And the third one, the user service manage your account details. And the last is the map and navigation service provide directions and routes. Each of these service works independently, but they communicate with each other over the internet using common protocols, making the system flexible and efficient. This way of building Uber offers several advantages. The company can update or improve one service without affecting others. It makes the system more scalable so it can handle more user easily. It helps provide a smoother and faster experience for users. Naintindihan po ba paano ah, nag-works yung SOA sa Uber apps? Yon. We have core components of SOA. The first one is service, encapsulates business logic with a defined interface. Think of a service as a special tool or a machine that performs a specific job. It has a clear way to communicate what it does, like a menu or instructions. For example, a service that handles payments know how to process payments and has a set of rules for doing so. So, ayun, yung example niya. For example niyan is in McDonald's. Makikita naman natin na may mga menu. Meron din tayong self-service kiosk. So, yun yung for example ng service. So, we have service provider. Creates, maintains, and publishes services. So, this is the person or system that creates and manage the service. They build the service, keep it working well, and share it with others so they can use it. For example, a company that develops a payment service and make it available for apps to use. So, yun na yung mga credit cards, yung mga, for example, yung Alipay, GCash, yun yung service provider. So we have service consumer uses services via defined contracts. So this is the user or application that needs to use the service. They follow the rules or agreements set by the service to get what they need. For example, an online shopping app uses the payment service to process your credit card. Yun yung service consumer. So the fourth core components is a service registry, directory for discovering available services. So think of this as a directory or phone book. It keeps track of all available services so applications can find and connect to the right ones when needed. For example, when an app wants to find the payment service, it looks it up in the registry. So the last core components is Enterprise Services Bus or ESB, middleware for routing, transforming, and orchestrating service calls. This is like a traffic controller or a post office. It helps send messages between services, change the messages if needed, and make sure everything happens in the right order. It helps different services work together smoothly, even if they speak different languages or formats. So, this is the core components of SOA. There's a lot of advantages of SOA, but we have only four here. So the first one is faster time to market via service reuse. Why? Because services can be reused in different applications. New products or features can be developed quickly. Instead of building everything from scratch, companies use existing services, saving time. So the second one is easier maintenance due to independent services. Since each service works on its own, fixing or updating one service doesn't affect the others. This makes maintenance simpler and less risky. So the third is platform independence and scalability. So services can run on different types of computers or operating systems, and they can handle more users or data as needed. This means the system can grow easily without problems. So the fourth last is improve business IT alignment. Using services makes it easier for business goals and the IT system to work together. It helps developers and business teams communicate better and create solutions that meet business needs faster. So of course, if there's an advantages of SOA, there are also challenges of SOA. So the first one is high initial investment in infrastructure. Setting up a service-based system requires a lot of money and resources at the start. You need to buy hardware, software, and train people which can be expensive. So the second uh, challenges, performance overhead from service communication. Since services need to talk to each other over the network, this can slow things down a little. The more services communicate, the more delays there might be. Oo nga naman. So, complex service management scale. As the number of services grows, managing of all of them becomes harder. Keeping everything organized, updated, and working together smoothly requires effort and good tools. Last but not the least, potential single point of failure if ESB is centralized. So, if the middleware that connects all services or the ESB stop working or has a problem, it can affect the entire system. This is like having one traffic controller whose failure causes traffic jams everywhere. Service oriented architecture continues to be a fundamental strategy for enterprise integration. It allows organizations to build flexible, reusable, and scalable systems that can adapt to changing business needs. So, as technology advances, many modern systems combine SOA with microservices and cloud native approaches, providing even greater levels of agility and efficiency. So, I hope these explanations has helped you understand the importance and benefits of SOA in today's IT landscape. Thank you so much for your attentive listening and watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.